Hi, Abhi. Hi, all.
Hi, Raghavendra. Abhishek.
Hi, Dishit.
Okay, let's wait for some time for others to join us. I believe we are missing Harry and a few other. We called the name and Harry is there, I think. Hey, SDP, see you, Harry? Are you there?
Yes, it's me.
Oh, okay, okay. Just thought saw a new name, so.
Acha. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, hi, Rupali.
Hi, Abhishek.
Okay. Just wait for some time for Milo to join us. So, Indian folks, dinner done or when you're planning to have Raghu, Hari, Rupali? So, did you had before itself?
No, I thought of having the dinner after the session.
Okay. Maybe we can take a pause for a few minutes if required. Just wait for some time. I think Hari again dropped off. Just wait for a couple of minutes. I'm just waiting one of the other participant to join. Uh, Accordingly, we'll take a call in next 2 minutes. All right, guys. So, welcome to the session, everyone. So, probably, so the topic which we are going to be aligned today to start off with was related with the formulas and referencing. I mean, we're going to be putting it for the first time. We're going to be diving into Anaplan and see, how these formulas and all that thing works. So this is going to be quite interesting one, probably. And thanks a lot, for spending some time on the weekend, and rather that's like a little, more than our usual slots. So thanks for being together, and I believe like we can be aligned for that part of time, and if required, I mean, if it's getting too much, maybe post 60 minutes, we can collectively take a 5-minute break or something if required, and then we can be back to the sessions as well aligned. So to start off with, like the other sessions till date, we are done with the imports and all the other things, how the import into list happens. And the idea was more like, you guys would have completed anything till lesson 7 till today's session. If not, please try to do that. I mean, your weekends, one day already done. You will be having Sunday tomorrow, and maybe for Bashir, he has the upcoming weekend. So maybe he can try doing that over there. And like what we can do is just to start off with the today's agenda, and that I mentioned was more revolving, would be revolving around the certain formulas and all which you can put in. So I'll be just quickly sharing my screen and we'll start now.
Abhi, before that, I have one question on the lesson 7. If you don't mind, then I will share my screen and I just want to.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, tell me.
Okay.
I mean, guys,
So,
this is the first and last question we will be taking today for the backlogs, if any. We'll continue with the next session for the any confusion as such. Mhm.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Raghu.
So you can see my screen right now.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, in this seventh chapter, they're saying like download the product data file CSV file. I already
Mhm.
downloaded it and import the data into the this module. So I'm already trying to import this
No, so
CSV
it's
file.
import into modules, right? Import
Yeah,
into modules, like I mentioned. You guys don't have any visibility over there. So import
yeah,
into modules. We'll
but
take it next session.
yeah, but it already came here. But I got a question like you can see like I tried like this. So I just went to upload new file and from here I tried to download it. After that I got this. I clicked on next and after that I got this one. Column 1, column 2, column
Okay.
3. This is
So
already
okay.
covered. We
No, no,
are
no, no. No. Like, see, this is part of our, like importing into modules, and that's what the agenda was. Like, we're gonna be discussing importing into modules when you guys are there, when you have that file with you. Okay, so I'll be
okay.
covering this separately. Okay, you don't need to worry. But
Okay.
just a quick thing, like, did you created this 606 product detail module, or is what this was before?
It was there before. I also created one file. So this product is what I given name as one. You can see here. So
Okay.
then that is I created. So
That's
you
fine. That's
can
fine.
see.
Just close this. Just close this.
Yeah.
Go to the blueprint view, please. Okay, I see. That's fine. That's fine. Let it be. Let it be. Can you show me the
Okay.
file, please, which is there to be imported? The data in
Okay.
that file.
So this is the file. This is in my desktop.
Yep. Okay, that's fine. Can you go to the module, please?
Yeah.
Module, workspace.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you start importing it the way you do
Yeah.
data import?
Yeah.
Next, please.
Yes. After this, I got stuck here.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So can you click on this first one?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh,
Hello, everybody.
hey, hi, Milo.
I
Good morning.
apologize. Oh, good day.
Yep. Uh,
Okay, but then if this is not covered, then we can take it later.
We will take it
Yes.
separately, okay, Raghu.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it will not make sense if I do it something
Yeah.
which
I thought that
you
we
don't
have
understand the
already.
points.
I thought that we have already covered this.
No, no,
That's
no,
the
no, no, no,
reason.
no. That we covered importing into list, not into module. We have just marked that topic
Oh,
specifically.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. Then I'll
Okay.
stop sharing anything.
Hey, hi, Milu. So we haven't started yet. We were just waiting for you. We were just, having a couple of doubts here and there. So thanks a lot for joining the session. And probably we are going to be getting started with the today's topic. Let me quickly share my screen.
Okay,
So,
great. Thank you.
mhm. So I'll be just sharing my screen and we'll get started for the day. All right. So the course objective for today and this module is we are going to be understanding about the formulas and referencing, and we'll understand what some formula is, how it works. All right. So we have the first exercise coming in our slide right now. Let's see what we have to do. So I believe you guys already have an access to your workspace. Everyone, you guys have your workspace right with you?
Yes.
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 Anyone who doesn't have? Okay. So I'll assume like you guys have an access to this workspace already. So what you need to do first is like, there's a requirement where, you have to create these list. Okay. So, I'm not very much sure like how many you have already created the hierarchies, how many of you have created the list, but, maybe you guys can take this snippet. Okay. This snapshot, if everyone can take, I'll just pause for a minute. Please complete this as part of today's assignment. Okay. So these exercises are going to be very, very helpful for upcoming journey ahead as well. If you don't complete this before next session, it will create problem for the upcoming session because a lot of things would be aligned here. Okay. So I believe everyone has taken the snippet. So you need to create a list, geography at the three levels, where there should be region, country, and state. Region should have 2 members, country should have 6, state should be having 12 members. You can do the automatic assignment rolling up wherever you want to, up to you. I will leave that discussion to you guys. Then you need to create a product hierarchy where there are going to be 2 data members, product category and product SKUs. There are going to be 3 categories and 8 SKUs. Then you're going to be having a pack type and a pack size. Okay, so pack type will be paper, plastic, and cardboard, and there's a pack size list. There is small, medium, and large. Requirement clear? Anyone any issues, or are we good?
Good. I'm good.
I believe you guys have already taken the snippet. If you want,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Shall we move ahead?
Yes.
Okay. Now there comes the second exercise which we have. Okay, so as part of this exercise, what you need to do is that you are supposed to create 3 different modules. Okay, this is related with the module, and what you need to do is you want to see the sales data product by geography. Okay, now sales data product by geography, how you're going to be creating that is you need to have a dimension product, you need to have a dimension geography, and this geography, what I mean is country. Okay, and you want to see the sales data. Everyone, any confusion? We can do this, right? No? Yes?
Yes.
Silence, I'll take yes. If anyone is having confusion, please pause me there. Then you need to create another module. I want to see the sales data by geography country. Well, it looks same. Sales data prod by geography. No, it's not same. I want to see the sales data by geography, not by product here. So product gets ruled out. I don't want to see here on the basis of product. So first module, prod by geography. All right. Second module, only by geography. Okay. And that's country. And the third module, sales data by geography, that is the states. We can do this. We can create these 3 different modules, right? Any confusion? Any challenges which you foresee at this point of time in doing this?
No.
Okay.
No.
Sounds awesome. So maybe you guys can take the snippet of this page as well, and you can just complete this post today's session, or maybe before attending the next session at least. And there's a small note over here. The values for the sales data needs to be entered manually. Okay, so it's not, you don't need to worry like where you're going to be getting the sales data file. Okay, so it's going to be a manual entry. Even you don't need to do these entries on your own. Let it be. Initially it will be 000, and that's absolutely fine. I mean, I'm not looking for any data as such. The idea and the motivation behind doing these both exercises is just to understand where you guys are in the terms of the things which you had discussed till today. That is your list and that is your module. Can you guys do this list creation activity? Can you guys draw the modules if you have the dimensions with you as per the requirements which you get? This is the whole soul idea and the thought process behind doing these exercises. In case if you are not able to, do let me know into the next session and we'll just try to solve this, or maybe get to some conclusion on how to do or what mistakes you guys were doing. All right, so then we have an exercise 3. Can I see sales data on the basis of pack type and a pack size? Any confusions, or are we good in all the 3 exercises? Maybe you can take the snippet of this as well. And the same remark, the value of sales data needs to be entered manually. Any confusions anyone has, or are we good to move ahead? All right. So, Salis, again, I'll take as a no confusion is from your end. And I believe, when you're going to be meeting next, we have these different lists and in total we have 4 different modules, which is trying to show the sales data on the basis of certain factors defined, on the basis of certain dimensions defined. I'll assume there is no confusions as such in any of these exercises or activities which are supposed to be done. I'll be personally, reviewing them into the next session or maybe next to next session what you guys have done. So, feel free if you're having any confusion as such in, at understanding at this point of time, or maybe even if you later, get confusions, we can discuss at that point as well. No worries. All right, so we are going to be moving with the topics as per the today's agenda. Like I mentioned, we are going to be understanding how we put in the formulas in Anaplan and, what is the thought process and idea behind this. So, there's no point, moving into the slides at this point of time to understand the formulas. I'm going to be doing is I'll be just logging into my Anaplan and, we'll get started with how different formulas and functions work here, or what are the different activities which you need to do as part of this formula building stuffs. So we have like MGM is for like Hari, right? We use Hari, Raghu, and Bashir. We use this MGM for you guys, or MJX we use
MJX.
MJX. Okay, so for Rupali and Milo, we used to use MJM. Okay, so okay, we are gonna be sticking with MJX at this point of time, and here we are gonna be doing this similar exercise. So that's what we're gonna be using for our formula building at this point of time. Let this model get loaded. All right, so there are a few modules already here and there are certain lists as well. So before, I just start building in the formulas and showing you all that stuff, let me throw a little light on the codes as well. So I have mentioned in the past, reiterating myself once again, there are certain codes which are there for your list members. Okay, now the idea behind having the code is something, if you observe in a lot of organizations, lot of enterprise, there is some pet name or pet code which is given to the certain SKUs or certain components, geographies, whatever, certain members. So for an instance, maybe, like South Africa, you assign it as SA, India, IN, and all that. Maybe there could be a list of products. Do you have a predefined code which is used internally in the organization to identify these certain members? Now, who assigned these codes? Are we as Anaplanner as a model builder do this? The answer is no. This again will be given by the business. Okay, so ideally the thought process is more like, you can assume like employee has an employee ID. The employee ID could be acting as a code, maybe a primary key or an identifier which is used to identify the employee internally in the organization with a specific code as such. Okay, so that's the idea behind putting in the code. Business gives us the code, we just enter it. I mean, no Anaplan and no model builder will be doing this on their discretion. We are not having the authority to put in the codes on our own until and unless we get the proper approvals or anything as such, because that this is nothing, just an identifier. Okay, at least functionally. Maybe at times you may need to enter certain codes technically for achieving something on the tool. That's a different story altogether, but functionally assigning the codes on certain member is not our job. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing at this point of time, maybe I'll just assign or put in some codes over here for each and every member which is there. So it's okay, let me assign few codes randomly. And ideally, these codes will be again into the list, which we will be getting. We can import over there. All right, so we have almost assigned the codes to all these states at this point of time. Okay, now let's create one module where we are going to be putting in certain formulas. So let me dive into the module section. I'll tell you guys why I'm putting these line items as name. All right, so I have a model in place already with me now, and it's dimensionalized on the basis of G3 states, and it has certain line items. I'm just pivoting it for the more simplicity. And there comes, the certain member of the geography is how it looks into the module. So in Anaplan, there are certain formulas, okay, which you're going to be using for a specific purpose. For an instance, you have something like an item or code functions. Okay. Now, what the idea behind using this code or item functions are, code is going to be helping you to fetch in the codes of the underlying dimensions. For an example, maybe Karnataka is identified as KA, UP is UP, Rajasthan is RA, Wuhan as WU, Beijing as BE. So similarly, what we want that our line item, or we want a formula that has capability to fetch in that code from the list dimension. So we are going to be putting in the formulas right now into this line item, and how to put in the formula, the steps involved over here is you need to double click on this formula bar. Okay, so this is called a formula bar, this region at the top which you see. Now, just observe one thing. If you click on this line item, okay, so the formula bar is activated for A right now. A is a line item is a line item. So, you have the, formula bar which is pointing to item as soon as I select the line items. So suppose if I need to put in the formula under the code section, code line item, I need to double click on this formula bar. Just have a look over here. So right now, just pay attention over here in this area, what happens. Formula bar isn't active at this point of time. I double clicked here, the formula bar gets activated, and I see a green tick and a red cross. So that means the formula bar is currently active, and you see this cursor blinking here in this. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so you see this formula bar is blinking over here in this region. Okay, so this means your formula is now active, and how you're going to be writing in the formulas and specifically how the code function works is you need to put in code and you need to put in the list name. Okay, now what is the list name? So list name for which we want to put code is G3 states. Okay, now the way you include list name in a formula is you need to include it under single inverted comma. So you have G3 states under single inverted comma and you close the bracket. Now, what is the syntax usually which is mostly involved? So you write down a code, or it's more like you write down a formula, you enclose most of the parameters under a single small bracket, close that bracket when it ends, and then you are going to be putting in the parameters which are underlying in those specific formulas as such. Okay, so for what value I want the codes? I want the codes for the G3 states. Okay, now when I press enter, this formula is activated and you are gonna not be seeing a green tick and a red cross. However, at this point of time, this formula is not correct and will get an error. I'll tell you what. So any of the formula, the idea behind making this error is for you guys to understand. In Anaplan, any of the formulas which you put, whether it's wrong in the terms of syntax or semantics, you will get an error into the Anaplan screen which points out the reason why this error exists. For an example, it says the formula for formula and references dot code. All right, so something to note over here. Just have a look. Formula and references dot code. So what does that mean is the specific line item whichever exists into the system, whichever exists into the Anaplan, is identified by module name dot line item. All right, the line item which are there into the module specifically in general in Anaplan, they are identified by module name dot line item. So that's what it's here. The formula to module name. So module name is formulas and references dot code is a line item is invalid. Then it says G3 states is not a recognized line item or list member. We'll understand what this issue is. Obviously, with time, you guys will also understand as soon as you see these errors what you need to do or not. But the idea behind this point of time is just to make you guys understand, like, if you make certain issues errors, this will throw an error and we can very well go back and rectify these formulas in the terms of syntax or semantics, whatever is defined or whatever needs to be defined. Now, since this formula is not correct, I'm just going to be pressing OK at this point of time. And what I want, I need to do some sort of, modification in this formula so that, the system accept this formula. But maybe at this point of time, I assume I don't have a clarity on this. And how I can remove this formula is I can press this red cross over here. So red cross signifies that I have just canceled the formula. Or you can very well press escape key. So double click here. I'm just going to be removing the formula. Red cross, fine. Double click here. I can press ESC key as well, escape key on your keyboard. So that is one thing. Now coming back, we wanted the code formula to work, but the reason why this code formula is not working at this point of time, the the main angle how this formula for the code work is, now it's trying to put in here, but it's trying to look over the code of Karnataka. But the problem is, code in general, when you have put in, it doesn't understand for which member of G3 states the code has to be brought in. Now, this can sound a little confusing. Let me just reiterate once again. Now I say you, hey, I want a code of G3 states, right? That's what my formula was. And I really expect Karnataka, UP, RAJ, WBE for these members to start coming in these line items. But the problem is, I told the system I want a code of G3 states. The system doesn't understand for which member of G3 states you want the code. You guys can understand, correlate what I mean? I say I want a code of G3 states. Well, the codes of G3 states, I don't know which code you're talking about. Karnataka, UP, there are lots and lots of different types of code. What I want, I want the code of the member of G3 state. So ideally what it means, I want the code of Karnataka to be fetched in. I want the code of Rajasthan to be fetched in. So in those scenarios and terms, if you think, you want the code of these specific members, and for that reason, you need to define that how these members are to be added. Okay, so for an instance, what you need to do is there's a specific formula in Anaplan that is called the item formula. Okay, now what item formula does is, as soon as you write this item formula, enclosing under the dimension, it helps to fetch the item which is underlined in that specific cell. For an instance, if I write item of G3 states, suppose here in this formula bar, then it looks like, okay, which item I need to bring in the Karnataka. So I need to bring in the Karnataka item. I need to bring in the UP item. I need to bring in the Wuhan item. I need to bring in the Beijing item. So it's going to be helping you to bring those specific item ideally from the dimensions. Let me show you the syntax involved and how we write this formula. Again, following the same activity, I just double clicked on the formula bar. The formula bar gets activated. Make a note, guys, green tick and the red cross starts appearing in. And now I'm going to be just writing down the syntax item and single bracket start. That's the standard practice, standard way of writing in the formulas. And then G3 states. Again, let's see if this formula works or not. This throws an error. Let's see what this error is. Can you guys guess what the error is? Anyone? Just have a look. Maybe if you guys can, infer something. Why this error we got. I know it's too early for you guys to predict the error in the formulas, but you guys can just think of what we did and what result we wanted.
Maybe we have to convert that into text. As of now, it's default into number.
Awesome. So that's the reason why we got this error. So this brings us to another point. The matter of fact is, if you put down certain formula in a line item, okay, if you put down certain formula in the line item, you need to make sure, or you need to understand that what is the result you are trying to fetch in from that formula. Suppose I tell you, you add in two numbers, the result is going to be a number. But again, if I tell you to fetch in the member of the list, that has to be a text. Now, line items are what? Line items are the placeholders. In the placeholders, you are going to be putting in the formulas to fetch in certain specific values or assumptions or calculations, whatever you want to do. All right. So here, the first thing first which is involved, as soon as you create a line item in a module, the first activity for you is to define the format of those line items. So steps involved in creating a module and the line items. Click on insert module, choose in the dimension, create in the line items, press OK. As soon as you create a module, go to the blueprint view and change the format of the specific line items, because that defines what result or what values you want to store on these placeholders. So since the value which I wanted had, a text popping in, so I need to convert this line item into a text format at this point of time. And very well, I can go to the blueprint view and I'll just maybe remove this formula and I'll convert this into text, and we'll see what could be coming in next. By the way, even the code would be text, right, guys? No? Yes? Yes? No? Anything?
Yes.
Okay. So we are just converting code into text. For the time being, I'll just convert A into text as well. And even the parent, I'll convert everything into text. I'll tell you the reason why I have converted a little later. Now what I do is I put in the item function and I just double click over here, an item of, mind you guys, the list needs to be included under a single inverted comma, item of G3 states. Oops, again, it seems to be an error. Looks a little weird. Let's see what the error is. the extrovert, but the formula resolves to the list G3 states format. Can you guys guess now what the error is? Just have a look. What do you guys think? What do we need to do now? A random guess is fine. I'm not looking for any accurate answers here. Bashir, Mailu, Rupali, I can't hear anything from you guys. You are there? Or it is like.
Well, I'm here. I think we're all here.
I believe that's not very early out there. Any guess here what the error is or why we are getting this error?
Maybe we need to select the format as list.
Exactly. So the point is, let's try to understand why we need to select a list format over here. Now, see, you say you want the item of G3 states to be coming in these specific line items. Okay. Now, when we discussed the format as list, what we understood over there? You can very well convert the list format. Let's take for an example. If I convert it into G3 states at this point of time, so I just converted here G3 states. What happens ideally? I can only select in the member of G3 states. Okay. I can select these members. Now, the matter of fact is, you have just restricted what are the values which can possibly come in this line item. And when you write a formula like an item of G3 states, ideally, that, item of G3 states is going to be the member of G3 states only exclusively. It's not going to be coming from anywhere out of the box, right? So for that reason, the basic, rule for an item formula to work is your line item should be formatted as list. Okay. So just remember this. And now if I write the formula, let's see if it works. Fortunately, I mean, it's been quite long. We are trying to write down our first formula. Let's see if that works. By the way, just one note, like, the formulas are not case sensitive. Okay. I mean, you write in caps, you write in small, everything is fine. Pressing an enter, voila, it should work. It works now. So the formula looks perfect at this point of time. And what has just happened, the item for Karnataka, item for UP has just got into these line items right now. So that's what the formula was. Now what I wanted, the codes of the Karnataka to be fetched in over here. So what I'm going to be writing in code of, I'm just going to be cascading the formula. So, the formulas could be cascaded here as well. The code of item of T3 states. All right, so the code comes into my line items over here. So code of item of G3 states. So, I'm trying to fetch in the code of each and every item which is here. Another way to, write down the formula is, if you want, you can refer the line item as well. So for an example, over here, if you see, the item formula is item of G3 states. Now, in the code formula, I write code of item of G3 states. What I can very well do is, instead, writing this formula in this fashion, I can very well write code of, I'm going to be selecting this item line item. Because what item line item is doing, it's anyways working as item of G3 states, right? So, if I try to understand how this formula is going to be working, code of item, and what is item? Item of G3 states. So what do you have? Code of item of G3 states, and you have just brought in the result. Any confusion till here? Just give me a confirmation. Everyone is okay. Are we on track? We are able to follow. Any confusion, any doubts as such? Okay, let me just start a quick check. Rupali, everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Raghu, all good?
Yes, Abhi, I'm clear.
Okay, Bashir? Bashir, you there? You're on mute. Okay, Bashir, we'll come back to Bashir later. Mailu, everything okay for you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Harry?
Yes, Abhishek. Only one doubt.
Mhm.
Let's say, for example, can you just go back to that module?
Uh-huh.
So let's say, for example, we have took the states in column side. If you take it in rows and add that code and line item to, so will still the formulas work in the same
Yep,
Oh,
it should, right? You see, when you bring in something from rows to columns or columns to rows or vice versa, whatever, you are just pivoting it, right? You're not doing anything else.
perfect. Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, coming back to Bashir. Bashir, you there? You're
Yeah,
lost.
I'm here.
Oh, awesome, you're here.
I'm good.
Any questions? All good?
No, no, all good.
Okay, awesome. Thanks guys for your quick confirmation. All right, so let's get started with under other things. What do we need to do? Let me. By the way, Hari, I'm using this view just for the sake of simplicity. Okay, I mean, if I'll use that view, that will be a little confusing. There's no challenge anything as such. You use whatever you want to, up to you. Okay, what fits in your eyes. Mhm.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so now we have something like we are done with the code, we are done with the item. Now your question could be, where in the world I'm gonna be, bringing in this code, or I'm gonna be bringing in these items here. I mean, does that even make sense? Don't worry, these will still make sense at some point of time. We'll understand all the reasons why we bought this codes, what was the purpose of bringing this item a little later gradually. But let's first try to understand how this formula works. The purpose will start understanding automatically in maybe next to next sessions. Okay, so don't ponder much on this, like why these formulas we are using it. There will be lots and lots of different scenarios where you will be using these type of formulas. All right, now the idea is more like, I just want the parent of Karnataka to be displayed here. Okay, so maybe the India to be coming in over here, Wuhan, China coming in over here, Colombo, Sri Lanka coming in over here, and so on and on. So what you can write is parent of three states. Will that work? Any guess? Shall I press enter? It should work. It will not work. Tell me, guys. What do you think?
It should work, I guess.
Okay, so who says work? Hari says work.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. How about other guys? No comments. You want to comment something?
Yeah, it will work.
Okay, so Bashir goes with Hari. How about other folks? Mailu, Raghu, Rupali.
Yes, Abhi, it will work. We already changed the format, right? So
Okay, so majority goes with it will work. How about my morning folks? Rupali and Mailu, how about you guys? No comments.
I'm
Awesome.
not sure. I'm not sure
Awesome.
about that.
That's a nice. Even I'm even I believe initially it's very confusing. Rupali, how about you?
It should work.
All right, so four in favor of it should work. One not sure. Okay, let's see what happens. Oops, I get an error. And why we got an error? Let's try to understand. This is actually important. See, when you write a parent of G3 states, it's creating the similar problem when you write a code of G3 states. Can you guys correlate the reason? When you were writing code of G3 states, again, the system didn't understood, which code has to be brought in. Similarly, when you write parent of G3 states, the system again doesn't understand which parent you want to be coming in. So to digest that problem of the code, we used code of item of G3 states. So similarly, over here as well, we need to write in parent of item of G3 states. Everyone clear here or any confusions? Are we good? Please start
Good.
thinking. Okay. So please start thinking in these aspects, okay? Because to be honest, I used to do these mistakes a lot initially. I never understood. Okay, so it was a little confusing for me. So you guys just be aligned in this thought process, okay? Why you're using item, where you're using parent, why you used a list, and all that. Okay. Now let's write in parent of item of G3 states. Now tell me, guys, this will work or not work?
it will work.
Okay. When we wrote code of item of G3 state, was it working? It was. Okay. When we wrote item of G3 states in a text format, did it work? No. Why it didn't work? Because the members were supposed to be coming in from G3 states, right?
Yes.
Now, when you write parent of item of G3 state, from where in the world you think members are gonna be coming in? G2 country, right? No? Yes. Because what is the parent of G3 state? It's G2 country, correct?
Yes.
And currently your format is text. Will this formula work? Or it will not work. Now give a thought here. Just to confirm you, it's in text right now. Okay. Now, ideally, this formula will fetch in the members from the G2 countries. Okay, guys. So if you write the formula like this and press enter, let's see what happens. Again, you get an error. The formula resolves to G2 country format, and that's the reason why we need to make sure that the members you are going to be selecting over here is going to be from list and then G2 country, press OK, and then we're going to be writing down the similar formula, and it should work now. Because the idea behind how this item works, how this code works, how this parent works, what are the considerations which you make. One thing we can emphasize a lot is you have to be very very particular on the formats which you keep in for these formulas to work. Okay, because until and unless you put in the correct formats, the probability of this formula working is very rare, and it's going to be possessing serious problems. Okay, so try to visualize or think it in a way like how the formula should be there, how the functions are going to be rolling in, and all that stuff. No need to worry. I mean, with practice, with time, you guys will start automatically putting in the these functions, states, formulas in the way it is required. But just an initial points which you need to consider whenever you are playing around with these type of formulas. Okay, so as per the today's alignment, we are done with the code item of parent formulas. We are going to be next understanding few of the formulas which are related with time functions. Okay, the there are certain formulas which help you to fetch in time and all that. Let's have a look. What are they? So I'm gonna be just inserting a module. I'm just using a time dimension. I'll just maybe name it time settings and. All right, so I have a module in place which has a time dimension, and there are certain line items: the start and current period, actual and forecast. Okay, so the idea is what a start function does. There's a formula in Anaplan that is called an start. Okay, we write it in this context. What a start function does is it brings you the first day of that period. So, for an example, it's January 18. Start function will help you to fetch in 1st January 2018. Similarly, 1st Feb 2018, 1st March 2018, 1st April 2018, and so on and on. So what start does, start function allows you to fetch in the first period or the first date. Everybody, any confusion? Are we good?
Good, very good.
Okay, so I'll just show you this formula as result as well. But what do you guys think? Do we need to do anything right now, or are we good? Shall I press enter, or will it throw an error? Mind you, the result is gonna be the date which is gonna be coming in right now on your screen.
I guess you have to change it to date.
Absolutely. So we need to change the format of this line item to date, and we know the reason. We understand why we need to change that. Okay, I mean, it's not like we have just blindly going and remembering like, okay, it's a start, I'm going to be putting in the date. No, that's not thinking those ways. Let's understand why we are changing. Okay, now I press an enter. Let's see what happens. Time setting dot start has a number format, but the formula resolves to the date format, what Hari mentioned. Okay, so by the way, Hari only mentioned, right? Okay, so let me just change in over here and put in the date here. Okay. All right, so the date is here. And let me just quickly, change the other formats as well. Date, 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 date. Oops, no. Okay, let me change it. Current period here. Okay. Let me just change the format a little. I'll tell you guys later what I am up to. All right, so I come in over here and I am gonna be writing a start function now. Start function, helps you to fetch in the first day of the period. Okay, so it's Jan 18, so it's fetching you 1 Jan 18. And there is an end function which helps you to fetch in the last day of the period. So it's gonna be fetching in the last day, 31st January, 28th Feb, 21st March, and so on. Mhm. Then there is something like a current period. Okay, now you write down a formula. Current period start. Okay, this is the syntax of this formula. Current period start. When you write down this formula, what happens is there's no value coming in right now. Can anyone guess what this formula possibly is doing? Well, let me tell you what this does, and then you guys think why there is no formula coming. Okay. So current period starts, if you remember when we were discussing time dimension, maybe in our third session. Okay. So that time we discussed like current period start formula, okay, helps you to fetch in the current period. You were defining something in the time dimension, right? Over there, the current period is stuff. Where I was telling like, anything beyond the current period is going to be forecast, anything before the current period is actual. So on those terms, we discussed like there is something where we define a current period, and current period start will help me to fetch in that but specific date. Remember everybody?
Yes.
Okay, now when I write a current period start, I see no values coming in. What could be the possible reason?
So I guess it will show
Calendar.
in 20. It should show in
Exactly.
2022.
Yeah.
So the current period is
Current
not
data.
defined over here like you mentioned. So there is no current period defined, and currently when this formula is running, it's not able to trace in the exact value. So let me just create current period. Okay, maybe I'll just mark it May 18. Let me just remove in the include as well over here. And then I see my current period coming in right now, and that is 1st May 2018. So we understand how the current period start formula works. So it fetches in the current period of the model. Okay, the current period start fetches in the current period of the model. And then what we want is we want the actuals to be checked here. Okay, so what is my current period? So it's 1st May 2018. So what is going to be actual? Anything beyond, anything before my current period. So anything before 1st May. So these booleans should be checked in. So tick, 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 and tick. But obviously, this is not a dynamic way to do. Instead, we are going to be doing it with the formula. Okay. So, can you guys think what could be the formula to make this actuals checked over here? You have a start. Okay. Start of the every month. Okay. You have the current period of the every month as well. Okay. You have a start. You have the current period. You want an actual. So, anything before the current period is your actual. And anything beyond your current period is forecast. Okay. I'll take a pause for a minute. Just think how this actual booleans can be checked. The end result is I want these values to be checked like this. So that when I look, I can understand like, okay, these are my actual values. So I'll take a pause for a minute. Maybe you guys can just think for the time being.
We need to put if condition here.
All right, guys. So, any guesses? What we can do? Were you able to think anything?
Yeah, if you write formula like current period should be less than May, then should be marked as tick mark.
Awesome. So, all right. So, this works as expected, right? So, whatever it was before my current period got checked here, and whatever is above current period, that is selected as forecast. Because what is how is the formula working? So this formula is checking with this. Okay, so is it smaller than this? The answer is yes. Is it smaller than this? The answer is yes. Third March is smaller than first May. Yes. First April is smaller than first May. Yes. So these values are checked right now. All right. So what happened about May? Let's assume like this is also gonna be in the actual. So you can maybe put in the formula like this, and even the May gets selected. Any confusion, any doubts for the functions or the formulas, whichever we have discussed till now, code, item, parent, start and current period, and how we wrote down less than equals to formulas and how we played around with the formats. If you have any confusions, you can let me know, or are we good? Okay. Silence I'll take as there's no confusion. So, like we discussed initially before starting the session, like it's been almost 60 minutes when we started. Let's take a pause for 5 minutes and we will be back. Mhm. If you guys want to have a water or maybe a quick snack or something or a coffee, just have that and we'll be just back in next 5 minutes. I'm putting down the timer here. Okay, so let's use only 5 minutes. Let's not be back for 10 to 15 minutes. Let's try to be here in next 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, see you.
Okay.
I'm just sharing my screen for this purpose as well, so that everyone is aligned with the times. All right, guys. So I believe everyone is back. Quick check. Hari, you're back.
Yes.
Mailu
Yeah.
back.
Here.
Bashir,
Yeah, I'm back.
Rupali.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone is back. Probably first time, everyone is back within 5 minutes. So usually when I have these breaks, participants will be gone for next 10 minutes instead five. Quite impressive. All right, so we are done with the few formulas which we just discussed, and now we are going to be just moving on ahead with the other topics in light for the day. And guys, it's not like the formula ends here. The journey of formula doesn't end. There are lots and lots of different type of formula. Just don't think these are only 8 9 formulas. These are the very few formulas. Obviously, with time they're going to be coming more and more. All right, so I'm just sharing my screen once again. And we are done with this formulas. We are going to be just moving it in referencing into modules. So what happens, like, what this referencing in module ideally means is, I hope I'm not on mute, just to check. Okay, you guys can hear me. So so what referencing in module is ideally means is, the formulas can be referred from one module to another. So for an are the even the values. So for an example, I have one module, okay, which is based upon the dimension product by geography. I maybe have another module, okay, which could have a different dimension. So the point is, this formula can very well be referred from one module to another. Maybe instead, putting it from one place or maybe entering it twice, you can just refer and the job is done. For an example, let me tell you, okay, let's assume there is a module, and let's try to assume. If you are not able to, let me know, okay. Let's assume there is a module which is based upon the employee, okay, and in that module we are just storing the salary of the employees. So you have a module employee salary, okay. You have another module where you are storing in the active employee salary, okay. Now maybe or instead just flicker around with this as well, because if the employee is not active anyways, functionally is speaking, well, there will not be any salary. Maybe I was just trying to give a technical example. I'll just mold this example a little, and maybe if I say you want to see the state of the employees from where they belong to, okay. So you have a list of employee. That module is based upon the employee list, and you have the list of states maintained over there. So what happened? Like you entered the dimension employee, you created a line item, and that is mentioning salary. Now in that module, you have all these datas over there, and you can very well have the datas and understand which employee belongs to which state. And from where you got this data, maybe you have imported this data, employee by salary. There will be one file, and you just imported that into Anaplan. Now you have another module which is active employee. Now active employee is subset of that employee, okay, and you want to see the active employee states from where they belong. Now obviously there's no point importing another file which shows the state of an active employee. But what referencing in module will allow you to, you can refer the line item of the active employee module to the line item of the employee module very well directly, and the values will be fetched from that module, that is your that is your employee module, to this active employee module. So you imported the data once, you're using it multiple times depending upon your need, and that's where the direct referencing is going to be useful. So what it says, there are certain rules and regulations for direct referencing to work. Okay, we'll see in practically as well, but just giving you guys a brief overview. If the dimension of the source module and the target module is same, the direct referencing works. If the target module is having if the only dimension similar to source, then the direct referencing works. If the target module is having a dimension which is parent of the source module, then still direct referencing works. Oh, I pretty much understand whatever is here on the slide. By looking, it looks entirely confusing. Okay, let's see into the workspace. We'll just try to create a module and we'll see how this could be achieved. So there's my model. And what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm just going to be creating a separate model now. That model I will name referencing into modules. Okay. So how can I create a new model? I click on the manage models. I click on new. I'll name it referencing in module. I'll just create model. And then I'm gonna be adding in few lists over here quickly. Maybe you guys can observe what I'm doing, or the best ways of creating these lists and all whatever. And mind you, you guys have assignment pretty similar to this as well. I'm just gonna be quickly creating and adding the members in this list. We have this APAC and EMEA, G1 region, G2 country. I'll not add a lot of members. I'll just, with the interest of time. Oops, there's a mistake. Let me just delete it. How you can delete that? You can select entirely and just click on delete and delete it. So I'm just going to be adding in the members into the G2 country instead. Okay, look fine. I'm just going to be adding in the members into the G3 states now. I click on enter. All right, so I added in the member as well, but since this is a hierarchy list, I need to maintain that parent hierarchy stuff as well. So I can very well choose the parent hierarchy from here. Mind you guys, you wouldn't have noticed this feature. You can do it from here as well. And I'm going to be defining the top level item for a G1 level, okay, G1 region. So instead, going into the configurations and clicking configure, I just save some time. Then I'm going to be creating few list that is going to be P1 product category. And then they're going to be P2 products. And I'm going to be creating an additional list which you guys need to create as part of your exercise, pack type and a pack size. So there are two hierarchy lists, and there's a pack type and a pack size. This seems to be flat at this point of time. So adding in the P1 product category, let's add in the few product categories. Just adding some members into the pretty products and the pack type and a pack size. Pretty products. All right, so I have some members in the P2 products as well. Pack type, I can assume the organization will have a small, medium, and large. These are the three different pack types which is there. No. That's going to be a pack size. There's a pack type. Okay, so pack type. It could be plastic. And it could be any pack type. What do you guys think? I mean, how these materials could be packed? Paper. Let's assume. And I have a pack size. I'm just going to be including small, medium, large. Guys, this is something which you guys need to do as well in the screenshot which you have taken. Okay. New model. So just create a new model like the way I'm creating, and you guys can do and achieve this very well. Now comes the definition of all. So I just define P1 products category as all, and then I'm going to be using the P2 products category over here. Again, I'm still not done yet, so I need to define in the parent one by one for these members. Pack. Oops. Okay, comes. Where this milestone was coming from me. Let me change it here. All right, looks fine. It looks fine, right? How you can check that? Let's go to the tree view. Looks fine. Two states. So Karnataka. All right, so I added in the members over here. Looks fine. Let me add in the parent for the P2 products as well. So here have something like here. Did I define the parent? No, I didn't. Let me just check in here. P1 product category. Just want you to follow the steps and just observe, how I am, doing. Like, I'm just pressing in the keyboard instead, selecting from the drop down, so that things could be done faster. So you guys need to have in the similar approaches as well, instead, selecting from the drop down one and one, because you will kill your time in these ways if you do. All right, so I have just created the list, okay, and added in the members. I have created two hierarchies, geography and product, and a pack type and a pack size, which are flat list. All right, so let's create a module. I want to see the forecasted sales for the basis of product by geography. So let's have the P2 products, and let's have an state here, and maybe I'll just mention total sales here. So what you see currently over here is like, okay, let me just change the time dimension here and add in number of past years to maybe 2, a number of future years to 1 here. Let me just remove the quarter totals as well. I don't want them, just to avoid the confusions. And you have something like, product sales by geography. All right, so what is this model showing me? So I see, what is this quantity of wheat sold, okay, in Karnataka in Jan 20, the total sales. Similarly, if I just check on this, the member, maybe, the quantity of rice sold in Wuhan in Jan 20. So, I have the entire data sets, which I can just, toggle around and play around with the, drop down over here, and accordingly the data would start coming in over here. Anyone, any issues in understanding how the module works, or what are the ways to, read down this data? Everyone understands this? Yes, no? Quick confirmation, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So let's add in some random values here, maybe for the wheat. Okay. By the way, I see black here because the model is dimensionalized on the basis of G2 countries, G3 states. Sorry. So when you have selected the edibles, that is the parent one. Okay, instead the P2 products, you have selected the P1 category, and that's the reason why you see this as the black. Okay, you can't enter the members here. You can only enter the member at the child level. Okay, that is let me select wheat instead rice. So I have selected wheat. Maybe just let me add in some random values. Okay. Right, so maybe I just added down the members. I can just keep adding in the entire session, but that's a different state. Let's not do that. So I have some, dummy members over here. So what I said, like, maybe the idea is to now instead, plot sales by geography. I want to show like, yeah, sales by geography. Have the total sales line item, and maybe I just want to show it on the basis of G3 states, the total sales. So the line item goes at the top. The time comes in here. So what I want over here is I want the sales on the basis of geographies. So try to understand this thing, like how the dimension acts as a bifurcation, or gives you an identity or an extra information about your data is. So if you compare this module, okay, sales by geography with product sales by geography, so there is one difference, and that is difference is you don't have a product dimension over here in sales by geography. Okay, so you see here what total sales of wheat in Karnataka in Jan 20, correct? You see the total sales of wheat in Karnataka in Jan 20. Similarly, you can change on the different product dimension. But over here, you see the total sales in Karnataka. So what the total sales in Karnataka is going to be? It's going to be an aggregation of all the products. Yes, no.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So this is what it means. So adding in a dimension gives you an extra level of information. So if you just don't add in an dimension, you just see it on the basis of geography, how much the total sales is. Okay. So what I want is like I have got this data from the business. Okay. Now I want in this module sales by geography. I don't want it on the basis of products. So what I can do over here is, anyways, the series by geography, if I just want, the data already exists here. The aggregated data maybe, for the India, it's going to be 1 to 1 in Jan, 2020. So what I can do is like, I can just very well refer the line items from there, the source module. Okay. So there comes a new terminology, source module and a target module. Guys, please pay attention to this term. I'll be using it throughout the sessions. Source module, target module. Source module is the one module where the values are stored. Target module is a module where you want the values to be fetched in, right? Source module, there where the value exists. So we have in product sales by geography. Sales by geography is a target module, so where you want the values to be fetched. Okay. Now how to do that? Double click on the formula bar, then you click on the module which line item you want to select. So I click on product sales by geography, and then I go to the blueprint view and I select the line item. So it's not mandatory every time you go to the blueprint view and select the line item, but since our line item is currently placed upon the filters and we can't see that, that's the reason why we are going to the blueprint view. If it was based upon the column or rows, we can have just selected that line item and it would have worked or fetched in the results appropriately. I click on the blueprint view, and on this line item, what happens here? Product sales by geography dot total sales, and that's what we discussed 30 minutes before as well. So how the line items are read into the system. So module name dot line item. Okay. So what I have put in sales by geography line item of total sales, I selected in the line item from product sales by geography the total sales. So that's the reason why you see product sales by geography dot total sales, and the value has been fetched in from the module. Any confusion in the steps involved or what has just happened right now? You guys can let me know now itself. Or are we good? Okay. Okay, awesome. So silence, I mean, the body controls and the silence from the other folks, I'll take like there's no confusion as such. Okay, so I'm just gonna be, maybe moving ahead. So you have just, referred in the values from here in this dimension. Now let's take an example. I'll create another module. Sales by G2 country, maybe this time. So can you go on mute? Who says not on mute, please? Mhm. And there comes the another module where you have the data on the basis of country, not states. Right? Here it was based upon states. Let me just change the name as well. Sales by geography instead. Let me change it to sales by country. It was based upon G3 states, right? Sales by states. And what I want now, sales by country. Very well, I can go and select my source module. Okay, and I click here. I'll see the sales by country as well because it's going to be showing me the aggregated data of the child. Sorry. So you guys can understand this, right? What just happened. So since the data was there at the child level, when you have selected it or references directly, since G2 countries are the parent of G3 states, you have just aggregated the data entirely and you have just brought into the target module that is sales by country. Okay. So here also you have brought in the data. Okay. Now let's go to the deck and see what were these statements in referencing in modules. If the dimension on source module and target module is same, we can do a direct referencing, right? We understand this, correct? So if it was based upon G3 states, P2 country, P2 products, and there's another module similarly G3 states and P2 products, you can do the direct referencing. It will work as expected. Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay. If the target module is having one of the dimensions similar to the source, so we just saw that, I mean, we had a module based upon G3 states and P2 products, and there was another module that is the target module was based upon G3 states. Then also direct referencing was working as expected. Correct? Yes, no, we just saw that, right?
Yes.
And if the target module is having a dimension which is parent of the source module dimension, then also direct referencing works because the direct aggregation values are already existing. Okay.
Yes.
Any confusion in any of these three statements? We understand like where direct referencing is going to be working as expected, right, guys?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's move on to the next slide. What's there in stored in more for us? So there comes the question. But what if direct referencing isn't possible? Let's see what is the question here. For example, how to bring in the sales data from the source module to the module dimensionalized by pack tab and pack size, which you created as part of exercise. You haven't created, you will be creating. But the idea is more like how you're going to be bringing the sales data from the source module to the module which is dimensionalized by pack type and pack size. So let me tell you what it means. I'm just clicking on insert module. Alright, P2 products coming in. Oops. No, I want sales data on the basis of pack type and pack size. So put it over here. Pack type, pack size. All right, so this is how my model is going to be looking like, and what does the information. So you want to know what for plastic pack type in a small size, what are the total sales, right? So ideally, what's the relation? Like the products will have some pack type and a pack size, correct? each of the products which is getting distributed or sold will have certain pack type and pack size. Now what you want to see is like, how much sales was for the pack type plastic and small size. Similarly, plastic medium, plastic large, wooden small, medium large, paper small, medium large, on the basis of the months. The requirement is clear, guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we need to do now is I want the values to be coming in from here because this is my source module. But do you really think this is practical? The values can come. If yes, why? If no, why? Maybe any one of you guys would like to take a lead and just put on your thoughts here. The values can come or it can't come. If come, then why it can come. If it doesn't comes, then why it shouldn't be coming. I hope you guys understand. Double click here, and I'm mentioning like I just want to select the total sales here, this line item, okay, and I'm expecting the value should be working. Now the question is, do you guys think this formula will work or it will not work or it's going to be appropriate or
It shouldn't be working because we haven't defined anything under the packet size.
Mhm. So Hari says it shouldn't be working because of the obvious reasons which he told. How about other guys? Mailu, Raghu, Bashir, Rupali.
Yeah, I agree with Hari.
Okay. So so Bashir said this right now.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. So Bashir goes on with Hari. How about Raghu?
It won't work.
And why?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Awesome. Rupali? Rupali, you there?
Yeah,
Uh,
Abhishek, my system restarted. Yeah.
uh, okay. So I hope you didn't miss much.
Yeah, just this part.
Okay. 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 We'll come to it. Mailu,
Yeah.
how about you? What do you think? This will work or it will not work? Not sure. Wait, I can't hear you, Mailu. If you're saying something. Hello. 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 Can you hear me? I can't hear you. If you can hear me, just okay. She has left the meeting. I think maybe connection issues. So Rupali, by the time Milu joins quickly, what I was saying, like the module are dimensionalized on the basis of different dimensions. So currently, the target module is dimensionalized on the basis of a pack type and a pack size, and this is how the data looks like based on plastic and small, small, medium, and large. The data has to be there, and it has to be fetched in from the this module. This is a source module, and the source module is dimensionalized on the basis of P2 products and the geography, that is your G3 states. Okay. Now the question was more like, can the values from this module, which is based upon a different dimension, can come and sit in over here if we do a direct referencing? Will it work or it will not work? So that was the question. I see Milo is back. So Milo,
Sorry,
what's
I'm sorry. I don't think it'll work.
no worries. Yep. Okay, fine. Thanks for your inputs. So Rupali, I mean, I believe like the question is clear to you now. And what's your thought here?
It will not work.
Awesome. So the majority says it will not work. Even one doesn't, doesn't have vote like someone says it will work. So you guys are absolutely correct. It's not gonna be working because of the obvious reason, and that is,
No different.
I mean, just think it like like in a way. I mean, you guys already thought upon this, and obviously, I mean, if I tell you like, hey, the data is based upon the products by geography, like it's simple. Like if I tell you like, in the Miami region the chocolate sales was 100 last month, and then I tell you like, hey, can you tell me like what is gonna be the total sales of a plastic or a wooden product or a pack type or a small size, how much it was sold? I mean, that's like literally a crap what I'm trying to understand, right? It's not feasible. Correct. So for that reason itself, this formula is not going to be working. And let's see what happens if we put in some values or just do it directly. So where's my formula bar? Just give me a second. Okay, a pack type and a pack size. And these are my modules, source and the target module. Oops. You guys can see there, right? I do not have access to the resource. Who is playing around with my access? Just give me a second, guys. I need to just check something in the backend.
Abhishek, I guess you're on mute.
This is the best feeling, when you say something and you realize that you're on mute. Okay, so what I was telling, like, you have a module, this one, and when you just apply the direct referencing, the formula though doesn't throw an error, but like the values are not appropriate here. You see this 282, 949. These are not the appropriate values, correct? Though the formula doesn't throw an error, but the values are not appropriate. So we need to make some assumptions. Okay, let's see how this can be achieved. So we do understand this formula is not going to be working as expected, right, guys? Direct referencing is not going to be working in the places where the dimensions are different. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So just give me a second. Let me just quickly share my screen once again, and we'll get started. So. Yes. So we were here. So we saw, like, what if difference direct referencing isn't possible, and we are done with the module, which is the current one. And I did had lots and lots of time. I just kept on asking any questions. I assume there's no question as such right now as well. So we are going to be coming over here, and we'll just park that question for the time being, and we'll just understand a new formula in Anaplan, and that is called a sum function. Now, I want, like a complete attention. Just be with me for the next 20 minutes. Okay, this is very, very important topic. Okay, just be with me. If you guys are having any confusion, just let me know. Okay, just pay complete attention for the next 20 minutes over here. All right, so I have something like a sum function in Anaplan. All right, let's see what it is. Sum enables the summation of values based on a list or time formatted line item or property in a source with a matching dimension in a target. Some achieve this through user entered mapping within function parameters to determine criteria for the value in the source to be summed. I don't know what this is. It looks very confusing, at least. Let's forget this, okay? For the time being. We'll come to it. But in general, if I tell you, sum is going to be working, or it's going to be helping you to sum the values into the target module from the source based upon a specific mapping which you define. So if we just pay attention over here, it will allow you the summation of values based upon a list through user entered mappings within function parameters to determine criteria for the values in the source to be summed. Okay, so you're going to be summing the value from the source module into the target based upon a certain condition or mapping which you were going to be defining. So it's going to be, for the folks who are, champs of Excel out here, it's going to be pretty much similar to the sum if in Excel. You can find lots and lots of, correlation. And if I just tell you how the syntax looks like, it is pretty similar, like, X sum Y, where, X is going to be referring to the columns holding the values to be summed, probably your source, and Y is going to be the, particular uh, column where you're going to be doing the cross referencing. Okay, so you just write down the formula like X sum it by Y. So that's how the formula works. Let's come back in our workspace and we'll see how this ideally should be and what exactly it means. So currently when you say, like, this formula is not going to be working, the direct referencing, because of the fact that there is no relation between these two different modules. Now I propose, or I tell you, like, hey, I can't give you the data on the basis of pack type and a pack size because I don't have, the business doesn't handle that data. But what I can help you with is I can tell you which product belongs to what pack type and pack size. Just reiterating my statement once again, guys, just listen me out. You want the sales data on the basis of pack type and a pack size, and I as a business say you, I don't have a data on the basis of pack type and pack size, but what I want from you is give me a data based upon sales by product and geography. I have that data I'm giving you, but you give me the data based upon sales, pack type, and pack size because I don't have. I need that data at any cost. Now, absolutely, we saw it's not feasible, it's not practical. You tell me the same thing, and I, as a business, again, I'll be telling you, or maybe I'm going to be asking the same question from the business, like, hey, I don't have a data like this, but at least can you help me to understand which product is going to be belonging from what pack type and a pack size? You have a product, a lot of different products here. You need it based on the pack type and a pack size. Then, since there is no relation as such, no relation in coming in, so you can't, solve the purpose directly. But what I am proposing, if you have the product list of products and you have, suppose it's a P1, it's P2, it's P3, it's P4, and then if I tell you the pack type and pack size of each of the products, so maybe the pack type of P1 is small, no, sorry, it's gonna be plastic, small, medium, large. And it's gonna be plastic, paper, wooden, and wooden. I define some mapping like this, and what you can do is you can use this mapping. Okay, you can use this specific mapping, and on the basis of this, you can very well disintegrate the products on the basis of pack type and a pack size, and then accordingly use this to sum the data, from your source on the basis of this mapping. Let's see how or what exactly it means. So I'm going to be creating one, mapping module, and that's called, maybe I'll just product mapping. And then I'll have this P2 products, and I'll be defining pack type and pack size. So what I need to do next is I'll be just changing the format so that I can check in which pack type. I can select one by one. Then I'm gonna be selecting the pack size here. Done, 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 done. Then I'll be just selecting in here, bringing or just rearranging the dimensions a little, and maybe I'll just save this view. I mean, I'll show you guys what exactly this is and how this is done. So what you need to do is maybe if you have a mapping where you define wheat belongs to which pack type. So maybe I'll just mention wheat as plastic. Maybe pack size is small, maybe medium. Let it be. Doesn't matter. Plastic, large, noodles, wooden. Noodles, wooden. That's a very bad idea. Let's make it at least a paper, and I'll keep it small. So T, maybe medium. Maybe a little bit small. So I've just done on the mappings in this fashion. You guys can just continue doing the same and not just be doing the same thing. So what exactly you have? You have the products based upon the pack type and the pack size, and what is the expectation? You want the data to be coming in on the basis of pack type and a pack size, and you have the source module which is dimensionalized on the basis of sales by geography. Okay, so you have P2 products and G3 states. You have a mapping module in place which tells which product belongs to which pack type and a pack size, and you needed the sales data on the basis of pack type and pack size. So direct referencing wasn't possible, and for that reason we have just formed a mapping module in between. And what we are going to be doing right now is double clicking on the formula bar, selecting the source. Okay, so what is my source? Source is this one, total sales. And then I need to sum it up on the condition which I have just created. The syntax, the formula for the sum function, open a big bracket, sum, and then select the mapping criteria. So pack type is one mapping criteria, comma, sum on the basis of another mapping criteria, and that is the pack size. Let's press enter and see what happens now. So I see the data now. Let's try to verify it. Let's put in some values over here. For an example, so plastic and small. Okay, so let's make one of the product wheat as plastic and small now. For the time being, just to check the values. Plastic and small. And wheat total sales in Jan 20 is 121 in Karnataka. It's 949. So why it's 949? This is the value, right? Wheat total sales. So wheat total sales. Wheat spec type is what? Small. Pack size is, sorry, pack type is plastic, pack size is small. So you see it from here. Plastic, small. And you just aggregate the entire data and you bring the 949 over there. Are you guys getting what just happened or any confusion? I mean, so you understand how what value came in. At least I'm just looking for that confirmation. Why 949 is coming here. I mean, it's okay, right? Because we defined wheat is something which has a pack type as a plastic and pack size is small, and wheat total sales is 949, and that's the reason why you see 949 over here, because plastic is small, the total sales was 949. If you just added maybe the other product, maybe for plastic and small, make it, let's take an example, we have noodles, let's make its pack type as plastic, and let's place in some data for noodles. So earlier the value was 929, guys. Okay, so let's add in some values. Oh, you added in 1001 now. Okay, so what's the pack size is gonna be? It's 1950. So it's 949 plus 1001. Okay. So you see the data summed on the basis of the condition. Now, if you just try to understand the intricacies of this formula, how this formula was working, so it went there. It went there in the product sales by geography module. Okay. It went there in product sales by geography module. Okay. It just got the data, entire data, total sales data, Then it went on the mapping conditions, it went on the pack type and a pack size, and accordingly it again came back and see which product has which pack type and pack size, and then it brought the data over here, and then you are just observing this data. Any confusions in understanding what is happening or what we have done till now? Let me know. I mean, there should be confusion, guys. I mean, that's not that straightforward. Everyone is okay, or I explained wonderfully. That's what I assume. If no one has any questions,
Abhishek, can you pardon the summation part? Actually, yeah, it's little bit confusing.
okay. So, which part you want me to repeat?
The formula.
Okay. Let me just erase everything. Okay. So, you have a product sales by geography. This is your source. This is your mapping condition. This is the target. Okay. So you are going to the source. Okay. Let me go to the source. So you went here to the source, and then you are summing it up on the conditions. Okay. So what conditions you want? So you want the data on the basis of pack type. So you just select in the pack type, comma, sum it on the basis of pack size. You just selected the pack size. And now as you have just summed in, the data has just got in over here. How it got in, how it worked. So it has just summed the data on the basis of the mapping which you have defined. So how it's working. So it's again, if we just try to understand the working of this formula. So the formula first sees like, okay, product sales by geography, total sales. So it will just go here first. Product sales by geography, it's just observing. Okay. Now the formula come back over here and it sees like, okay, wheat belongs to what? Okay, plastic and small. So it will go here again. It will observe the value of wheat. It will observe or take into account the values of all the products which has pack type and pack size plastic and small from here. And then again, it will just put in over here. You want me to tell you again? I'm okay.
Yeah, got it.
You want me to repeat, right? Or is it
Yeah,
okay?
got it.
Okay, you got it. Anyone? Any issues? Or are we good? Okay. Silence, I'll take. It's okay for everyone. So there are, certain basic thumb rules which you need to take into consideration for a sum function to work. Now, this is an important point. Okay. The modules, the source, and the targets were based upon the different dimensions. You created a mapping module, and the thumb rule for a mapping module is that there has to be a mapping criteria, and the mapping criteria which you have just created pack type and pack size. So this is the dimension of the target module. Understand this, guys, clearly. This is the dimension of the target module. So target modules are a dimension, pack type, and a pack size. What you did, you created two line items so that the product's pack type and pack size could be entered. And the line item has to be formatted as dimension of the target module. All right, just reiterating my statement once again. So the mapping module line item should be dimensioned as the format of the target module. Conditions which you are going to be using for summing up is going to be based upon the dimensions of the target module, and the target module, you're going to be building a relation with the source module in a mapping module, and the relations are going to be created in such a fashion that you select a dimension from a source module in a mapping module, and you create the line items based upon the dimensions of the target, and the line item formatted is absolutely based upon again the dimensions of the target. So that's what you have just done here right now. All right. No? Yes? Okay? Not okay? So again, silence I'll take. Everyone is okay. So what I'll be strictly recommending you guys, like, go through the last 20 minutes recording of today's video. Then go to lesson 8. There's going to be a video for some function. Please watch that, guys, by today or maybe by tomorrow. Okay? So that the things are fresh in your mind. Okay? Go through that sum function in lesson 8. There are going to be few exercises which are going to be coming for sum function in the in your model build journey. Just try to do that as well. Okay. And I'm going to be giving you guys some exercises as well. Just complete that, and it should be good for you guys to crack what and how the sum function is going to be worked or used upon. Okay. So, with that said, that's all what I had today for you guys. I just wanted to cover this sum function today. And probably in the next session, we are going to be starting from the lookup. Okay. Now, there's a prerequisite for lookup function to understand that. Please go through. There's going to be a recording, or there's going to be a video for a lookup in lesson 9. Just go through the lookup functions from learning.anaplan.com before you come to the next session. Okay, so that you can get more aligned in these discussions. Mhm. So, just a quick question, are you guys available tomorrow for the session? I mean, who is not available in the?
What time? What this day?
Okay, so just give me a second. I just posted in the chat. So I think for Bashir and Milo, it's gonna be today's night itself again. I mean, you guys can let me know, okay? Just now. I mean, just give me a confirmation, guys. Whosoever is okay.
Today night at what time? I think you
I'm just posted. Maybe if you can have a look there.
9 a.m. Okay.
If not, that is
No
fine.
Abhishek.
You just need to
No
tell me.
Abhishek. I will not be available. Yeah. Today
So what time
evening.
you propose, Bashir?
Yeah, today evening is not possible because I'll go out. Probably I come around.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, maybe in the terms of IST, what time you propose for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, in the sense, okay.
I mean, I'm
Tomorrow, any same time, it's good for me.
no, like I have a blocker. I have like other session at this time tomorrow. It is blocked. Okay, so so uh,
With this time tomorrow is not possible for me because I have a function to attend tomorrow. This time.
so evening isn't possible for you, Raghu, tomorrow. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
So you want something in the morning, okay? And Bashir is not gonna be available tomorrow in the morning. And I mean, all right. So then in that case, it's gonna be look. It looks very hazy. Okay, so because of possibilities of Sunday, so let's cancel the session for tomorrow then, and let's try to utilize this time which we have for completing the exercises and whatever we have mentioned to complete. So, quick round of maybe like for Rupali and Milo, we have three new faces: Hari, Raghu, and Bashir, and for Bashir, Hari, and Raghu, vice versa. So I mean, Rupali and Mailu, we have sessions for them in the morning, and for Hari, Raghu, and Bashir, we meet in the night. So they are just the other batch people. I just merged them today. Actually, this topic was a little important, so I wanted everyone to be aligned together. All right, so probably the next session, we are going to be catching up as per our usual timings, whatever is there for each of the batches, and we are going to be starting with lookup from Monday IST. All right, then. Maybe, Hari, Raghu, and Bashir, you can drop off. I just need to discuss some timing things with Rupali and Mailu. Okay, then thanks a
Yeah.
lot, guys, for your time.
Thanks,
Thank,
everyone. Thanks, Abhishek.
yeah, thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
night, good night, good night. Bye, bye, bye. Okay, so Mailu, so what I was telling, like, you propose the sessions from 8 a.m. till 9 a.m. in the morning, right? On Monday. That's what you want.
Um,
The usual timings which you have, correct?
the usual, yeah, which is what is it? It's like for my time is like 9:30 p.m. or 10 p.m. I think your time is 8, right, or something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So later on, I just maybe extended 30 minutes. Now, but from Monday we will have at 8 a.m. IST. Okay, 8 a.m. till 9 a.m. So Rupali, you are okay with this timings, right, Rupali?
Yeah, Abhishek.
Okay. So we're gonna be meeting on Monday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. IST. All right, guys. Then many many thanks a lot for your time. See you soon and have a great upcoming weekend. All right. Bye bye.
Okay.
Good night.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Have a great day ahead.
Good
Bye-bye.
night, Abhishek.
Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.